Hey everyone, my name is Kyle Wallgren. Once again, this is another episode of the Business of Education. This week, I get to have a super special guest join the show, a man that has wore many hats in his career, and in my opinion, is maybe the best networker on the face of the earth. But most importantly, my friend David Meltzer. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh man, I've waited a long time to come on your show. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me and love the subject matter and topic that we're going to discuss.
David, networking's the most important thing. I think we both agree with this in any business, and I think I owe probably 50% of my most opportune network to you, to your events. Tell us a little bit about, your coaching, your networking events, and why you got into this.
Yeah, well, I took a different perspective. I think a lot of people create networking events and they don't get it. They're there to try to create an atmosphere, an environment for people to do business with one another. I've always taken a different approach, which was I want to build a community of people that want to help each other and know people that will help each other. And so from the beginning, whether it was the movies and the TV and the podcast, the coaching, the free Friday trainings, all the different things that I did, the objective wasn't to have an end product. The objective wasn't to have a business network. The objective was to empower others to be happy by making money, helping people, and having fun. And what happens when you put your intention on building a community of people that want to help each other and know people that will help each other, what happens is they buy from each other and sell for each other. And when you are selective about the people that you surround yourself with, which was my biggest mistake when I lost everything, people ask you, how the hell do you lose over $100 million? Surround yourself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. That's how. And so understanding community and utilizing an open-minded, open-hearted, open-handed approach, that the networking is a byproduct of what most people try to make it as an objective or an outcome. And that's why most people that are in our community, Kyle, tell me the exact same thing, that half of my networking community is because of David Meltzer's community or events that host those communities. And by the way, we're doing the Masters and we want to see Kyle at the Masters since he understands the values of what we're doing.
Yeah, and just to put into perspective, that event has, the legendary John Daly that's going to be speaking at it. So and I want to put it
We
into
got Josh
perspective.
Allen now and Josh Miranda.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we got a lot of great things going on.
We'll talk after this call. I'll call you. See, it's just like that. I get asked all the time, how do I know the people that I know? I went to Dave Meltzer's events. I used Dave Meltzer as my very first business coach. And it's growing my business exponentially. I'll put it into context. One of my dear friends, I'd almost consider him like one of my best friends today, Al Harrington, I met in Las Vegas at one of Dave's events. Now we hang out all the time in Dallas personally. A gentleman that joined our board who understands tech and is committed to education, Jeff Hoffman, I met at David's event. So David has impacted my life dramatically. I don't even know if I've told you this story though, David, but this is how deep of impact you've had on my life. When I was 21 years old, I broke my leg. And I accidentally overdosed on painkillers. I grew up in Canada. In Canada, if you overdose accidentally on purposely, they hold you in the hospital for a number amount of days. In those days, my mom gave me a book, which led to a movie. The movie is famously known called The Secret. And then there was The Secret 2 or whatever it was that I watched. And I implemented these methods of visualization, envisioning and being purposeful with the vibration that you put out. David, what movie series were you a part of? Just for
Beyond the Secret. So yeah, I was in Beyond the Secret. Now let me share a story of why I know we're at the same frequency. So for many years, my wife told me to read the book and then watch the movie The Secret. I told her it was horseshit, that people that watch The Secret or believe that shit, they lie on their mom's couch. high, broke, dreaming about what they want. And for me, I believed that I could do everything myself. I end up going through a great shift, a transformation. And within a year, I was sitting on the Transformational Leadership Council with all the people from The Secret, which they made The Secret from the TLC group, Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, John Asseroff, all of the people in that movie that impacted both of us. And there I was sitting with Jack Canfield and talking about Beyond the Secret, the sequel. And I looked at him and my wife looked at me and she said, "Isn't it amazing what you can manifest?" And there I was, changing my life and then being able to change other people's lives, which is the mission that I'm on. It's not empowering just you, it's you empowering others to empower others as well. And together, people like you and I are going to change the world. And whatever it is, it's the catalyst. For us both, it may have been The Secret, but there's plenty of other things out there that can help to expand and grow this idea that we both have the desire that we must be what we can be, and we're going to inspire others to do the same.
And I love that, and you hit on the head. I think a lot of people just lay there and think they can think themselves into a positive position. That it's like vibration plus action. You can't just lay there and hope your world gets better. It's intentionally doing things to make things better with a pure method or pure vision on what the end goal is. You don't necessarily need to have the roadmap in between, but you need to have a clear vision of what the end result looks like, or
no doubt. I have the mathematical equation. What you pay attention to, so what you focus in on or dream about, plus what you give intention, what you do, say, think, feel, and believe will equal the coincidences of your life. It'll coincide the consequences, results, outcomes, opportunities, and options in your life. And that is the mathematical equation of karma, mathematical equation of luck. Attention plus intention equals coincidence.
And that's so truthful. There from the first movie, there's two sayings that I use all the time. What you think about, you bring about. Ultimately, what you're saying there. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
That's mine, baby. Wayne Dyer taught me that. That changed my life. I have said that a million. I love that.
Yeah, my favorite quote, if I picked any one quote that impacted my life, is that one for sure. And then we moved into business coaching, and it was a different form of business coaching. I'd always had people like promise me an expectation, but the thing that blew my mind with your business coaching is we did it at like 6 a.m. my time, which puts it at 4 a.m. your time. What's your day look like? I know how high a performer you are, but what's your day look like?
Well, first of all, I kind of shift the paradigm of time, and I understand the man-made construct of time. I know that we're guaranteed 24 hours a day. Every day of our life, except for the last day, we'll be cheated a couple minutes or hours. But if you take the perspective to be as productive, accessible, and gracious with what you're guaranteed every day in the reconciliation of infinite time, you'll realize that man-made constructive time should be shifted to the beginning of your day should be the unwinding of today. So my beginning, my tomorrow starts today with an unwinding routine that is backtracked from when I want to wake up so I can plateau and grow. So I have an unwinding routine that puts my mind, my body, and my soul into a position of recovery, which is obvious, and also access, which isn't so obvious. You see, when you put yourself in a position of recovery, you're accessing information, info from the universe to put into motion, information. And that information can be utilized as we transcend it, as we awake. I use meditation. You can use exercise, balance, whatever you want. Swimming, doesn't matter. But I believe the unwinding routine. Then I have non-negotiables during the day that aggregate time in the physical, metaphysical, and quantum physical realm. And knowing how energy works, it aggregates, accelerates, and compounds. 2 minutes a day is worth 2 hours on a Saturday. So if I'm applying 7 hours of sleep every day in an intentional manner, plus my family, my health, my fitness, my faith, my finance, my relativity of people and ideas. When I do that, what happens is you start to realize that I'm spending 10 hours a day, including my sleep, in intentionality. That leaves 14 hours a day to do whatever I want, to reprioritize, learn, find the light, the love, and the lessons, vacation, do whatever I want, but I get the exponentiality. And it all starts by understanding your tomorrow starts today. Put yourself in a position of recovery and access to be productive, accessible, and gracious with the 24 hours you're guaranteed every single day, except for the last day of your life.
I love that. And some of my listeners a lot of my listeners are engineers. So they're going to be looking at us going, these guys are kooks, but I've lived my life like
What other
this.
people think of us is none of our business, man. I'm happy. 10% of the people are going to hate me no matter what. 10% love me. And the other 80%, all I want them to do is say, huh? And then be able to take them through a journey to make them say, wow. And that's my marketing and my philosophy on everyone's journey.
Well, I say wow every time I'm in the room with you. I'm going to say wow again. If you look right here, that's Josh Allen's helmet right there. So you sold me on the JA coming to the next event. But you're an author. You've wrote books, many of them, but connected to goodness. You talk about the importance of gratitude. To me, that is the number one thing that moves the needle in my life. How do you implement that? How do you use it in your life, and why is it so important?
Well, I utilize it as a tool with its sister called forgiveness. So everyone, everything, every moment, every event, every situation, every outcome, every struggle, every void, every shortage, every obstacle, I look for the light in it, the love in it, and the lesson in it. And there's only one tool that allows me to do that in every situation in the infinite system in which I belong to. It's called gratitude. Gratitude is the tool to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everyone and everything. And partnered with its sister called forgiveness, you will have not only gratitude as your cornerstone, but you'll have the ease that forgiveness allows us to move forward in a divine direction in divine time by forgiving ourselves and others for interfering with that love, light, and lesson. And remember, there are no problems if you know the teacher's guide, if you have the solutions. There's only one way to find the solution. That's utilizing gratitude to find the light, to find the love, to find the lessons in those things that other people don't love or like, even in things that you don't love or like. You can find the light and the love in everything. In other words, gratitude is the tool that is the defining reason why, if you change the way you look at things, if you look at things with gratitude, the things you look at will change. You will be grateful for them. And this is the cornerstone. Here's the irony about gratitude, though, Kyle. It's free. It takes 0.1 seconds. It has exponentially the most impact of anything else you can use in your life. Every single world thought leader, every single one from the beginning of time, from recorded history, will tell you gratitude's the most impactful thing in our lives. But yet, I want to remind you the lesson of gratitude, which is the simple things to do are unfortunately simple not to do. And in fact, half the people today, if I told them it'll change your life if you say thank you before you go to bed tonight, I promise you, if you could say thank you for 30 straight days before you go to bed, I promise you it will have the most impact of anything you're ever going to do. By tonight, half of the people listening to this will not say thank you. By tomorrow morning, another half won't say thank you. And within 3 days, almost everyone listening will not say thank you, because the simple things to do are unfortunately simple not to do. So I encourage you, and I want to tell everyone, you talked about connected to goodness. For your community, I want to make sure I will sign a copy. I will pay for shipping. I will pay for the book for anyone in this community that would like a copy of my book. I will pay for everything. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com, and I'll throw in a gratitude challenge if you need it.
Oh, wow, David, you're so good. I'm so grateful for everything all the time. Thank you for that. We'll put your email in the comments as well, and just in case anybody didn't get it, and anybody else that wants it, I'll make the introduction, or whatever that looks like. David's life has impacted my life 100 times, and maybe it's his story that I relate to. You talk about some of the biggest obstacles you had. You had $100 million business go to zero, and you talk about it all the time. Um, what are some of the challenges that you went through with that? And then I'm going to circle back to gratitude afterwards, but I wanted to ask you that first.
Well, the biggest problem I had was radical humility to ask for help. I was successful 9 months out of law school, a millionaire. Everything I did after that confirmed that money bought love and happiness. And I thought that everything I touched turned to gold. And I was too worried about what other people thought instead of who I am. I was worried about what other people thought I was. And so when I started to shift my paradigm and perspective of being humble and saying, I don't know what I don't know, I need to find people who sit in a situation that I want to be in and ask them for help, ask them for directions. That's the fastest way to get to where I want to be, as well as helping other people get to where they want to be. And so in the nuance of knowing my who can I help and who can help me, alongside radical humility of knowing that I don't know what I don't know. And therefore, when I find out where I want to be or what I don't know, I need to ask for help. People ask me all the time, what's the number one piece of advice I would give my 18-year-old self? It's the same advice I gave to myself this morning, 18 minutes ago. Ask for help. The fastest way to get to where you want to be is ask for help. The easiest way to show that you have faith besides wisdom that shortens the distance of resistance in your life, ask for help.
I knew what the answer was going to be, and I'm glad you asked that. I get asked all the time, like, how'd you land Shaq? I asked him. I ask you for introductions all the time. I ask Jeff. I ask, you know what I mean? But asking, a lot of people feel like you're like asking for a favor, and it's like a party foul or something. People that are in your same vibration want to help, and I think that that's one thing that your network does. Your community, I'm going to call it a community. Your community does better than any other community that I've ever been involved with, is that when you ask for help, they actually are excited and willing to help.
Yeah, because they understand giving in my community, right? People think that giving is a trade. They think giving is a negotiation, a scarce transaction. You see, it's not the more you give, the more you receive. It's the more you give, the more you're given. If you elevate your awareness to all that you're given, you'll see the options, opportunities, and touches of favor that you're worthy of receiving. And if you're worthy of receiving, then you'll be comfortable and confident in asking for more. And so if you give more, given more, receive more, and ask for more than more, you'll end up with more than more, given more than more, receive more than more, and then ask for more than more than more. You can see where you end up in an infinite amount of more than enough of everything for everyone. But what happens normally is people give more. They're too embarrassed to receive more. And so they take less. And then they have less to give because they're afraid to ask for more. And then they become less than less than less. It's a zero sum game instead of a value add game. And so in my community of people like you that want to help each other and know people help each other, whether it's Shaq or Harrington or Hoffman or Clinton Sparks or whoever it is that you're around, everybody's living in an infinite system of more than enough, a value add world where we're all looking to do two things: help each other and know people that can help each other. And guess what? You're elevated. I'm elevated. Shaq's elevated. Harrington's elevated. Hoffman's elevated. And we're there with more in our own to give more to others as well. And we continue to do so.
And when you step back and you look at these people, they are giving constantly. You know what I mean? Like constantly. So it's you really need to jump into that. And anybody that hasn't attended one of Dave's events, these are a non-negotiable. You need to go to them. I go to a couple minimum a year. He just talked me into going to another one in 30 seconds or less. But they are amazing. They change your life and the people that are into them. You posted some content about Austin Eckler the other day, how much he was willing to give to your I think your son's football team. Just these people are here to help, and they make an amazing thing. and we're running short on time, but I did want to focus back to something in case anybody that isn't familiar with gratitude. It's really simple. I do this every morning. The minute I open up my eyes, since I was in my early 20s, I say thank you for the things that I'm grateful for in that moment. And then I pass it into every aspect of my life. And me being a father of 4 parents, it's really easy to see those gratitudes come into your day every moment they step foot on the floor and they come out of bed healthy and happy. And, so there's so much stuff that we can just look around and be intentionally grateful for. And so just, open your eyes to what's around you, because life is really good. We just need to identify how good it is, and let it build us up. Dave, I told you I wouldn't take all day. I know I could do this for another 5 hours with you, but I am going to be mindful of your time, because there's 100 more people that are asking you for your time, just like I did this morning. So Dave, thank you. If anybody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to go about it? Finding out about
Yeah,
your
two
events,
ways.
finding out about your coaching.
Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I answer all my own emails, david@dmeltzer.com. And if you forget the email, david@dmeltzer.com, which will be posted in the notes, then just Google me, David Meltzer. You'll find me. I'm accessible everywhere. So proud of you, my brother. And I cannot wait to hang out with Josh Allen and you at the Masters. Anyone else interested, let us know. We got John Daly, Josh Miranda, Josh Allen. Even Saquon Barkley said he might show up, but I never put the mites in there. I only put the for sures. So come and join us. We'd love to see you. What a great podcast. I look forward to doing it again. Thanks so much, Kyle.
David, thank you for everything you've done for me.